Go.
Alright. Could you please introduce yourself to your profession here at Idea Dom?
I am a middle school PE teacher and an athletic coach.
How well do you think that you know about like good health habits, including like eating and exercise?
How old?
How well you know?
How old do I know? I have, my first profession was still my profession, is a personal trainer and a nutrition advisor. So that's been going on for me for at least 6 years.
So, as a nutrition advisor, what do you believe is essential to add to your everyday palate when trying to make a healthy and balanced meal?
You want to take it back to our early age as human beings, I guess, and that's going back to cavemen. You got to remember all they ate was meat and protein based. So before carbs and fats happened, they had a lot of protein based food. And so I would just recommend for somebody that wants to be a little bit more lean, who wants to have more energy, to eat more protein based food, and that's including chicken, lean beef, anything turkey, a little bit of turkey bacon, tuna, salmon, anything seafood. So those are protein based meals.
All right. What would you say that these types of foods are? No. Would you say that? Would you say that these types of foods are things that would be expensive to the average person in RGV, or would you say that they're easily accessible and they're like kind of cheap to buy?
I'm not gonna say they're cheap, but they are cheaper if you make them on your own. So for example, if you were to go to a fast food restaurant and you've got some rice and chicken breast, you'll be paying twice as much. If you had gone to the grocery store and bought yourself some rice and chicken and you cook it yourself, then that's cheaper in a sense. But anything you go where it's fast food or ready-made, then you're paying twice the amount.
Yeah, and then like you can also just make your own twists on it, make it better, like make it more healthy.
Yes, definitely. You could be more creative at it. There's a lot of tips online. It's not new nowadays. It's 2018. I think the fitness world has overcome every aspect of the world, and it's nothing new. And it's already been down here. You're going to see a lot of places where meal preps are available now, but again, you're paying twice as much. You go to a grocery store, you just have to figure out what to make and how to make it.
What are some common eating habits you believe should be done regularly?
Regularly, you definitely should eat every day. Don't try to not eat to lose weight. That's a lot of misconception people get. I mean, yeah, you're going to lose weight, but then you're also going to be not healthy. But for somebody that is an athlete or active, you want to eat every day in a sense that you're eating the right amount of carbs, right amount of protein, right amount of fat. Those are called your macros. And that's something more in depth of nutrition advisor, someone who's actually tracking that for you. And so as a habit, you should be aware of what you're eating. So if you're eating more of junk food and not enough of healthy food, then in a sense, you should be always start taking away some junk food and more into a healthy habit. So just figuring it out on your own. But there is more ways to figure it out and get into a better habit.
And speaking of habits, what are some habits that should be prevented?
Binge eating and boredom eating. A lot of people are bored, and so they think they're hungry, and so they eat. And when they do eat, they eat not just a piece or two, but they eat the whole bag or the whole cake. And that's boredom eating. There's binge eating where you crave something. Let's say you crave pizza. Instead of eating one slice, you end up eating the whole entire pizza. And then there's another way of binge eating is, let's say you crave something again, like hot Cheetos. And again, you're supposed to just eat a handful, and then you end up eating the whole bag because you're watching a movie, or because you're hanging out with friends, or you're doing something, and you end up binge eating. So that's two misconceptions, habits that I think should be prevented.
All right, last question. Do you have any recommendations on a certain type of healthy meal that we could try to replicate and share with others across the RGV, and possibly even those beyond the RGV?
Sure. Well, like I said, it's not new, but what I do eat, let's just say 6 days out of the week, is chicken breast. You could either slice that into cubes, pan fry it, throw a little bit of seasoning, however you want it, spicy, sour, however you want to do it, and then you have brown rice on the side, and you can cook the same way as you cook white rice. You can make your brown rice more flavorful by adding cilantro in it, lime, and all this stuff, or even black beans into it. And now you have like a whole meal of chicken breast with brown rice. That is my ideal meal for the most part every day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
One more thing. Do you think it's important to limit yourself, like your way eating, like limiting,
Limiting what I eat?
Yeah.
Well, I limit what I eat based on what I need. So for someone like me, I need a certain amount of protein. And so I have to meet that certain amount of protein per day. I can't eat, I like sweets, so I have to limit my sugars. And my family comes with a family of diabetes, so I have to make sure I watch how much sugar I eat, because then I might get that same disease that they're getting, or illness that they're going to get. And so I do have to watch certain type of foods of what I eat, which is sugar, but I got to make sure I eat plenty of protein. So it's more of the balance thing, and you got to find the balance through everything that you're doing, especially with what you're eating. So if you're active, you like to run, you like to be part of sports and all this stuff, you got to get the energy and nutrition that you just burn out, and you got to get that back, and you got to do the same thing over and over and over. Now, if you're not doing anything and you're just eating, you're not in the same direction. You got to make sure you balance everything out in your life.
Well, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.